श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्यः कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्ताम् सदा हृदि। रामानुजदया पात्रम् ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणम् श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यम् वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकम्। சீரொன்று தூப்புல் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்றச் சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஊரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேரப் போமளவும் வாழ்வு.
வெங்கடநாதார்ய கவிதார்க்கிக வேதாந்தாச்சார்யவர்யோ மே சந்நிதத்தாம் சதா ஹ்ருதி. ராமானுஜதயா பாத்ரம் ஞான வைராக்யபூஷணம் ஸ்ரீமத் வேங்கடநாதார்யம் வந்தே வேதாந்ததேசிகம். ஈரொன்று தோப்போ திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்ற சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஓரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேரல் உழவும் வாழ்வு.
So we saw the last one, Dharmatma Pazhaya Poligalana. Dharmatma was Vibhishana, righteous person. So Mahaprajnaha, we had another adjective for Vibhishana one. He was Mahaprajnaha, very intelligent fellow, plus Dharmatma, righteous person.
உயர்கொள் சோலை உன்னதமான சோலைகளையும் தயதரன் பெற்ற மரகத மணி தடதத்தினை தசரத சக்கரவர்த்தி பெற்ற மரகத மணி தடாகம் போன்றவனான எம்பெருமானை ஒன்தடம் அழகிய தடாகங்களையும் ஒளி திருமோகூர் அலங்காரமாக உடைத்தான அழகிய திருமோகூர்லே அடியவர் அடியீர்கள் 1000 பேர்கள் உடைய சஹஸ்ர நாம பிரதிபாத்தியனாய் அடைந்த வந்து கிட்டி தொழுங்கோள் வல் அரக்கர் புக்கு அழுந்த கொடி ராட்சகர்கள் புகுந்து மடியும்படியாக துயர் கடிது கெடும் கிலேஷமெல்லாம் விரைவில் தொலைந்து போகும் அப்படி தொழுதார்.
O devotees, woes will run away. Come quick and worship. The Lord of 1,000 names is also a lake of compassion. He resides in Tirumuhur, with lakes and lovely groves. He was born as Dasarath's son, Rama, to destroy Lanka.
So, துயர் கெடும் கடிதடைந்து உவந்தடியவர் தொழுமின் உவந்து அடியவர் தொழுமின் உயர்கொள் சோலைவன் தடமணி ஒளி திருமோகூர் பெயர்கள் 1000 உடைய வல்லரக்கர் புக்கழுந்த தயரதன் பெற்ற மரதக்க மணித்தடத்தினை. So this is about Kalamegha Perumal. The name of the deity is Kalamegha in Madurai, in the heart of Madurai. So here, we saw the meaning, and therefore, Kadidu Torimin, come quick and worship. And therefore, your sufferings also will end quickly. Toyar Kedum. And therefore, we say that groves are there, then tanks are there, ponds are there. And the demons were destroyed in Sri Lanka. Okay, so let us go to next page. பழைய போலிகளான தங்கள் போலன்றிக்கே இருக்கிற சரணாகதி தர்மம் ஒரு வடிவு கொண்டார் போலே இருந்தான். The beautiful explanation is Ramo Vigrahavan Dharmaha, as Valmiki calls it in Ramayana. Swami Vedanta Desika calls it in Dashavatara Stotram. So Vigrahavan Dharmaha. He is an embodiment, personification of the righteousness. Rama is the personification of righteousness, embodiment of righteousness. As if Dharma comes in a human form. Whereas Sharanagati Dharma has come in human form, rather in the demon form, in Vibhishana, Alvan. So Sharanagati Dharma's personification is Vibhishana Alvan. All these Poli Mudaligal, they call themselves leaders. Who? Sugriva, Angada, and others call themselves leaders of monkeys. But who will consider them as real leaders? Poli Mudaligal, pseudo leaders, false leaders. They look at Vibhishana Arvan and they realize, they learn that Vibhishana was better than them. Vibhishana was the embodiment of the policy of total surrender. ஒரு வடிவு கொண்டார் போலே இருந்தான். Now, then he fell at the feet of Rama and sought it as shelter, sought the feet as shelter. Padayo Sharananveshi. That's what we saw earlier. He fell down at the feet, and the feet were his protectors. Feet were his protectors. That's what we say generally, as we know. So more than the Lord, feet are more powerful to give protection. More than the feet, this divine sandals give us protection. So Tanmai Perutti, Tantalini Kilkollum Appan. So how did Vibhishana come to surrender at the feet of Rama? Because Rama made it so. Satvika Tyaga. Anena Atmana Kartra, by Vibhishana's soul. He was a demon by birth. And what did Rama do? Tanmai Perutti. So he gave him the right attitude. Then Tan Talini Kil Kollumappa. So he made him come to his feet. Tan Talini, his own divine feet. So Talini, Tal feet, Inai pair. So the pair of divine feet. Kil Kollumappan. Appan. Lord is the Father. So Mata Devi, Tamasi Bhagavan, Vasudevaha, Pita, me. So he is our mother and father. So Tvameva Matacha Pita Tvameva. You are our mother and you are our father. You are so affectionate like a parent. You are the parent. You produced us, you created us, and therefore. So Tan Talini Kilkollum Appan. So Rama was, yesterday Shanta madam told us that he is enjoying the qualities of Rama. So this is one of the enjoyable qualities of Rama. He himself invites us. He himself makes us come to his feet, divine feet, and fall down. Santalini kil. That means we become slaves. So our swarupam, our inner nature must be, we are subservient to the Lord. So kil kollum appan. A father will take care of the children. In the same way, the children are made to come. So Vibhishana is also one of the children. And therefore, Tiruvadigalile, Tanakku nilai ninra pugalidate aasaippattan. So Vibhishana chose the right person and fell at the right divine feet. because he did everything right. So, திருவடிகளிலே தனக்கு நிலை நின்ற meaning, he knew that only shelter available to him is permanent. What is the only shelter? Divine feet of Rama. So, திருவடிகளிலே, in Rama's divine feet, தனக்கு நிலை நின்ற புகலிடத்தை, he knew that he will be surely protected. நிலை நின்ற, certainly Vibhishanarvan will be protected. That's what Vibhishana thought. Vibhishanarvan thought. Therefore, Ashipatta. Therefore, he wished to surrender. So that was the only desire in the mind of Vibhishanarvan, namely, he did not aspire for kingdom or anything else. No materialistic pleasure was sought after by Vibhishanarvan. So, Padayor Nipapata endru anvayikkavum. Since he knew that the divine feet are the only refuge, right refuge for him, then he wanted only to fall at the divine feet, nothing else. So he wanted to do kainkaryam, we can say. He wanted to do service to the divine feet. And hence he fell at the feet. Padayor Nipapata. Padayor, at the divine feet of Rama, Nipapata fell down with a lot of happiness, interest, aspiration, ambition, and so on. Ni gives us the meaning. Papata means fell down. Nipapata meaning he took a lot of interest in falling at the feet. So Anvaikavama. Anvaika is a prose order. இது ஸ்ரீவைகுண்டநாதன் திருவடிகளை முக்தன் பெரும்படிக்கு மூதலிப்பு. So now Vibhishanarvan should be taken as an example, as a model for us or for all the released souls. So all the released souls will reach the divine feet of the Lord Vaikunthanatha, Sri Vaikunthanatha, the leader in Paramapadam, namely Paravasudeva. So Paravasudeva's divine feet can be attained by a released soul, and Vibhishanarvan is a forerunner. Vibhishanarvan was the role model. Vibhishanarvan was the example, right example. He preceded us. He guided us. Vibhishanarvan guided us as we become the released souls. We will get into the divine feet. So when we get into the divine feet, we must not think of anything, any other desire, any other aspiration. That's the meaning. So Mudalipu, he guided us. He was in front to lead us. So ippadi oruvan sharanagatanai, ippadi in this manner, oruvan, if someone like us, sharanagatanai, having surrendered, திருவடிகளை பெறும்போது, while we get near the divine feet, அவனை பற்றினார்க்கும் அவனுடைய ஆத்மீய பர சமர்ப்பணத்திலே துவக்குண்டானபடியினாலே, now an individual soul like us will have some following. Some guide he may be a guide, he may be a teacher, he may be a preceptor, he may be instructing his followers. So his followers also will think that teacher is doing the right way, therefore the leader is doing the right action, therefore they will do it. So avani pattinarkum. Another meaning is when people are devoted to the Lord. So oruvan we say an individual soul who is a surrenderer. But avani pattinarkum can also mean that it is God, Almighty. People who know that they must fall at the feet of the Almighty, they will get attached to people like Vibhishanarvan. And What does he do? What does a surrenderer do? Namely, Atma Atmiya Bhara Samarpanatile. So they will get interest. Tuvakkundana padinale. Tuvakkundana. Tuvakku is here interest. So when they are interested deeply in submitting the Atma, the individual soul, then Atmiya, the possessions of the individual soul, which we think that we all possess, bara and weight, maybe the weight of merits and sins. Not only the weight of sins, weight of the merits also. So all these three are submitted. Number one, our individual soul, Jivatma. Number two, the possessions, the belongings of the individual soul, which we think that we own a house, we own a car, we have relatives, friends. All these are all possessions, money, so everything. So Atmiya, then Bara, the weight of these, because these are all heavy. That is not only the individual soul also is a weight to the individual soul. So when we submit it, we are relieved of this weight, burden. So we carry the, we say that we carry the individual soul in our body. So the body has the weight of the individual soul. So when the body decays, that is at the end of life, one's life, the individual soul also becomes a burden. So the possessions naturally are burden, and bara is the result of the actions, namely merits and demerits, merits and sins which we accrued by our actions. Therefore, that is also heavy. Bara, samarpanatile, all that has been submitted. So in that submission process, Tuvakkundana padinale, as an individual soul takes interest in doing this submission, so Tanit Sharanagati Panna Vendade. So why should we go alone to fall at the divine feet? So Tanit Sharanagati Panna Vendade. Vibhishana also did the right action, namely, he came with the other 4 Rakshasas, only as a token, And of course, after Vibhishana became the king of Sri Lanka, all the demons would have followed the king. So they liked the king. So previously, they had to obey Ravana. In the rule of Vibhishana one, they would have liked the king. They would have loved the king. So that's the meaning here. So Tanit Sharanagati Panna Vendade. So he was not selfish. Vibhishana one was not very selfish. That means he alone did not come to Rama. So from Sri Lanka, he took, for example, 4 Rakshasas. So Tanit Parishipar Mindike. The problem is if one comes alone and tries to reach the divine feet of Almighty, he will be put to test. A severe test. So if one comes with a group, with a host of followers, then the test will be not severe. The test given by the Almighty God will not be severe, because many people have come to surrender as a group, and therefore Tanit Parikshiparum Indrike. Otherwise, what would have happened is Sugriva would have tested Vibhishana separately. Angada would have tested Vibhishana separately. They would have fought with him. Sugriva, without the words of Rama and without the words of advice of Rama, Angada and other leaders of the monkeys would have separately fought with Vibhishana and tried to quell Vibhishana. Not kill, quell Vibhishana, control Vibhishana, and then they would have had their share of fight. So now, Tanit Parishipar. So each individual monkey would have attacked Vibhishana one. So all this was avoided because Vibhishana came in a group. So Tanithu Parishipar indicate. Vibhishana would have faced, if he come alone with, to what we call, to face many troubles. So Rajasevakarudeya Stanandhayarukku pole Purushartha Labham Tulyamam. Now, this is an example, meaning Raja Sevakarude. There is a palace, there is a king, and he has many servants. Raja Sevakaha. So they are all royal servants. So what will happen to the welfare of these royal servants? As they are serving the king directly, all the benefits of serving the king will go to them. Meaning, the money, say for example, money, that is salary, as we say, incentives. So when you work with the king, when you serve a king, because king is rich, he will favor us with a lot of gifts. And therefore, Rajasevakas have got families. They have their own families. They have what we call breastfed children, Stanandhaya. Very small children are there in the families of the royal servants. So they will also be taken care of. And a royal servant's son will be given a job in the same palace. So we call them mercenaries. So generation by generation, the family of servants will continue, generation by generation. They're called Vamsha Sevakaha. Vamsha Sevakaha. So in that way, so here even a smallest member of the family, other children, breastfed children, Stanam Dhaya. Even if mothers are not available, the king will arrange what we call stepmother. I think we have surrogate mother. So in that way, the small children will be brought up nanny. So daycare centers will be arranged by the king, so that the children will be brought up properly. If that is the advantage of serving a king, and therefore, just like that, so Rama was the leader of all, and therefore, it is right on the part of Vibhishana to have surrendered to Rama. So Purushartha Labham. So in Sharanagati, we saw that the other Purusharthas also can be achieved, namely, not only moksha meaning Kainkaryam in the case of our Sampradaya. So even if we do not aim at the moksha or rather Kainkaryam, the other three are the byproducts of Sharanagati, Dharma, Artha and Kama. So we are encouraged to do our duties, be righteous in nature, follow rules of scriptures, Dharma. Artha, money will be pouring on us. Material benefits will come to us. Many material benefits will come to us, Artha. And therefore our desires, right desires will be fulfilled, Kama. So these three Purusharthas are the benefits of Sharanagati. And so falling at the feet is equal to getting all the human goals of life fulfilled. So Tulyam equal. So what do? So Pashuhu, Manushyaha, Pakshiva, Yecha Vaishnava Samshayaha, Tenaiva te Prayasyanti, Tat Vishnov Paramam Padam. So Pashuhu, animals, what we call movable living beings. Chara is called Pashuhu. Manushya, human beings. Pakshi, bird. Va, or, ye, who, cha, and Vaishnava Samshaya. It is enough that we join a group of devotees called Vishnu devotees. Vaishnava Samshaya. So in order to get all our 3 or 4 goals fulfilled, human goals fulfilled, dharma, artha, kama and moksha, let us join the group of Vishnu devotees. Vaishnava Samshaya. All these animals, in the forest, Rama was approached by many what do you call animals also. You would have, of course, we would have read it in Ramayana, not in, of course, pictures. The animals also were fond of Rama Almighty. So Pashuhu, Manushyaha, many people. So Pakshi, birds, for example, Jatayu, Sampati. These are birds which helped Rama. Yecha Vaishnava Samsayaha, Tenaiva te prayasyanti. Tenaiva meaning Ashrayena, Samshrayena. By their attachment to the group of Vishnu devotees, Tenaiva te prayasyanti, they all go, they will go. Prayasyanti is a future tense verb. So te prayasyanti tad Vishnu paramam padam. So not only fulfilling of the other 3, dharma, artha, kama, purusharthas, human purposes of life, and they also finally attain the moksha. Vishnu of paramam padam, the Lord Vishnu's Vaikuntham, Sri Vaikuntham, is reached by the animals, human beings, birds, and etc. So, with regard to Mudalipu, Sakshyam, I think Keshavadas Swami may be ready for Thiruvaimozhi 377. And the verse that just now we read was Shandilya Samhita. Shandilya Samhita. Shandilya was a great sage, and his Samhita has first chapter, 15th verse. பசுவோ மனிதனோ பக்ஷியோ எவர்கள் வைஷ்ணவனை ஆசிரியக்கிறார்களோ அவர்கள் அந்த வைஷ்ணவனை அடைந்ததனாலேயே விஷ்ணுவனுடைய பரமபதத்தை அடைகிறார். So here a Vishnu devotee becomes the mediator, rather he does the purushakaratvam in order to reach the divine feet of Vishnu, namely paramam padam. Padam also means foot. So Paramam Padam is highest foot, namely highest goal, namely Sri Vaikuntham or the divine feet of the Lord. Can we have 377?
Janma Janmantaram Kathu Mari Mari Palapirappam Piravadapadi Kathu Adiyavargalai Kondu Poi Nitya Vibhutile Kondu Poi Tannai Perutti ஸ்வஸ்வரூப பிராப்தியை பண்ணி கொடுத்து தனதால் இணைக்கு தனது திருவடிகளின் கீழே கொள்ளும் அடிமை கொண்டருள்கின்ற அப்பனை சுவாமியினுடைய பொன்னை இயற்கையான ஔதாரிய குணத்தை பிதற்றவல்லாரை வாய் வந்தபடி சொல்லித் திரியும் பாகவதர்களை பிதற்றும் அவர் வாய் வந்தபடி புகழும் அவர்கள் நம்மை பெருத்து நம்மை பெரும்படி பண்ணி நாள் அந்த தத்துவமுள்ளவரையில் ஆத்ம தத்துவம் உள்ளவரையில் உய்யக்கொள்கின்ற உஜ்ஜீவிப்பிக்க வல்லவர்களாக நம்பர் கண்டீர் நம்பப்படும் அவர்களாவர்.
He comes to devotees all through life after life. He gives them his nature and he takes them unto his feet. Those who praise his eternal glory shall be my trusted masters forever. Just see.
The word is not old, it is fold. He comes to the devotees fold. Shanma Shanmantarang Kattu Adiargalai Konduboy Tanmai Perutti Tan Talinai Kilkollum Appanai. This is what we saw in the text, original, the Mula text. Tanmai Purutti Tan Talinai Kilkollum Appan. That's what we saw earlier. Appanai Tonmai Pidattravallare Pidattrum Avar Kandir. Nammai Peruttu Nammai Emmai Naluya Kolhinda number. So once we join the group of Vishnu devotees, then we will have no fear, no doubt, no apprehension, and so on. And we will be reaching the divine feet of Lord. So that means we will get into Sri Vaikuntham for Kaikari. Ityadiகளில் சொல்லுகிற சாஸ்திர அர்த்தத்தை வெளியிடுகிறான். So Valmiki now explains that Shandilya Samhita's meaning has been explained with these words. How? Chatarbhissaha Rakshasai. So there is no difference between the living being, among the living beings, namely animal, man, human being, bird, and so on. So all these have the recourse to join the group of Vaishnavas, and in turn, the Vaishnavas will lead them to Sri Vaikuntham. So Chatarbhissaha Rakshasai. Ippadi Saparikarana Sri Vibhishnalvan Perumal Thiruvidigalai Petrabadi Solli Muktanukkum Sri Vaikunthanathanakum Pole Sri Vibhishnalvanukum Perumalukum Peranda Samvada Mukattale Prapti Rasa Parivahati Udaharikkiran. So we will take up this tomorrow, namely the first one. Since he came with an army, Saparikaran. Look at the first line. Vibhishnalvan was Saparikaran. Parivaratodu Kudinavanana. Saparikaraha. So he came with the 4 demons, and therefore please show me the first line. Ippadi Saparikarana Sri Vibhishnalvan with his family of devotees, rather with his retinue, with his army of 4 demons, Perumal Thiruvidigalai Petrabadi Solli. So he reached the divine feet of Lord. Here Rama. So Muktanakam Sri Vaikunthanathanakum Pole. It's a relationship between the released soul and the Paravasudeva and Paravasudeva. Sri Vaikuntanatha. So now relationship is between Sri Vibhishnalvan and Perumal, Rama. So Peranda Samvada Mukhattale. So they were talking with each other. Vibhishana said to Sugriva and said to Rama that he has surrendered. And Rama said many verses to Sugriva to accept Vibhishana. Samvada Mukattale, so because of the dialogue between Vibhishnalvan and Rama, Prapti Sarasa Parivahati Udarikana. Valmiki gives the example of the flood of sweetness. The flood of sweetness while reaching the divine feet of Lord. So what will be the joy in reaching the divine feet of Lord is explained by Valmiki in the following verses.
Ramanuja Patram Jnana Vairagya Bhushanam Srimad Venkatanathayam Vande Vedanta Deshikam Kavitarkika Simhaya Kalyana Gunashaline Srimate Venkateshaya Vedanta Gurave Namaha Vadidhiva Chirobanga Panjanana Parakramaha Sriman Venkatanatharya Chiram Vijayatam Bhuvi சீரொன்று தூப்புள் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்றச் சொன்ன பழமொழியோல் ஓரொன்று தானே அமையாது ஆரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேரப் கோமளவும் வாழ்வு.
ராமானுஜதயா பாத்திரம் ஞான வைராக்யபூஷணம் ஸ்ரீமத்வேங்கடநாதார்யம் வந்தே வேதாந்ததேசிகம். கவிதார்க்கிகசிம்ஹாய கல்யாணகுணசாலினே ஸ்ரீமதே வெங்கடேஷாய வேதாந்தகுரவே நமः. சீரொன்று தூப்புல் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்றச் சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஓரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேரப் போமளவும் வாழ்வு.
ஓம் நமோ நாராயணாய. ஓம்